Before the game begins, a random protocol is drawn. For round 1, Hunt is active in the central room. At the end of the round, every unit in the room that is still at full health loses 3 HP. Next, both players roll for initiative. The Protogen Marines win and get the first activation. The units are deployed and their equipment is assigned. Each side also starts with the 2 rerolls. A reroll sets your reroll an entire dice roll, but it can't be used for initiative or protocol rolls. Bastion activates first. He opens the door and spends his first AP to move 5 inches. For his second AP, Bastion goes into Overwatch. His heavy weapon has a range of 8 inches. Wreath opens the door and spends her first AP moving 6 inches toward the central control point. As she moves, Wreath enters Bastion's Overwatch zone, triggering his attack. 3 of his 4 shots hit. The successful dice are rolled again for armor penetration. Wreath has armor 3 and Bastion's weapon has armor penetration 2, so he only needs a 1+. All 3 shots penetrate. Wreath takes 6 damage and is left with 2 HP. Bastion's Overwatch ends and his weapon is now out of ammo. Wreath finishes her move on the control point and spends her second AP shooting Bastion. 4 shots hit, but only 1 gets through his armor. The 6 is a critical penetration, so Bastion takes 2 damage. Shellshocker spends both AP moving and taking cover behind a pipe. When the pipe is in the line of fire, it provides partial cover and gives him +1 agility against the attack. Shade spends his first AP moving into the central room. For his second AP, he shoots at Shellshocker. His sniper ability reduces the target's agility by 1, but partial cover gives Shellshocker +1 back. His final agility stays at 2. All 3 shots hit. The first armor penetration roll completely fails, so the Ulfari use the reroll and reroll the entire result. This time, 1 shot gets through, dealing 2 damage to Shellshocker. Blade spends both AP moving to the central control point, where Wreath is already standing. Units from both sides are now inside the control radius, so the point becomes contested and neither side scores from it. Phantom spends her first AP moving into the central room. For her second AP, she throws a grenade at Shellshocker. Grenades ignore agility and partial cover, so they go straight to armor penetration. 1 result penetrates, dealing 1 damage to Shellshocker. All units have finished their actions, so Hunt takes effect. Blade, Shade and Phantom are still at full health, so each loses 3 HP. The central point is still contested, so neither side scores any VP. At the start of round 2, a new protocol is drawn, Electricity. At the end of the round, every unit in the central room rolls 1d6. On a 1, 2 or 3, it takes 3 damage. Both sides gain 2 more rerolls. Initiative is rolled again, and the Protogen Marines win, giving them the first activation. Bastion spends his first AP reloading. For his second AP, he goes into Overwatch again. Phantom spends her first AP moving behind Wreath. The Bastion's Overwatch doesn't trigger because Wreath completely blocks his line of sight to Phantom. For her second AP, Phantom throws her last grenade, placing the blast so it catches both Bastion and Blade. Bastion takes 1 damage, which immediately cancels his Overwatch. Blade takes 3 damage and is left with 2 HP. Shellshocker spends his first AP moving through the pipe. This obstacle reduces his movement by 1 inch. He also leaves his partial cover. For his second AP, Shellshocker shoots at Reed. His first hit roll completely fails, so the Protogen Marines use a reroll. This time, one shot hits and penetrates. Reed takes 3 damage. She only had 2 HP left, so she is killed. Equipment carried by a defeated unit stays on the battlefield. Reed's grenade remains next to the control point. The Ulfari gain 1 reroll for losing an allied unit. Shade spends his first AP shooting at Shellshocker. Shellshocker is no longer in partial cover, so Sniper reduces his agility from 2 to 1. All 3 shots hit. The first armor penetration roll gives Shade only 1 penetration, so the Ulfari use a reroll. The new roll completely fails, so they use 1 more reroll. This time, 2 shots penetrate, including 1 critical. Shade deals 5 damage and kills Shellshocker. The Protogen Marines gain 1 reroll for losing an allied unit. For his second AP, Shade moves onto the central control point. Once there, he picks up the grenade dropped by Reed. Picking up equipment doesn't cost AP. Shade enters the control radius next to Blade, so the point becomes contested again. Blade uses his medkit first and restores 2 HP. Using the medkit doesn't cost AP. For his first AP, Blade moves towards Shade and deliberately makes base-to-base contact. This puts both units into melee lock. For his second AP, Blade attacks with his paired claws. His first roll only gives him 1 hit, so the Protogen Marines use a reroll. Shade tries to block the attacks with his combat knife. The Ulfari use a reroll, but Shade still only blocks 1 attack. 3 attacks go through the armor penetration. 2 of them penetrate and deal 3 damage to Shade. All remaining units have finished their activations, so electricity takes effect. Each unit in the central room rolls 1d6. Rerolls can be used for the protocol rolls. Bastion takes 3 damage and is left with 2 HP. Blade avoids the damage and stays at 4 HP. Phantom also avoids the damage and stays at 5 HP. Shade takes 3 damage. He only had 2 HP left, so he is killed. The Ulfari gain 1 reroll for losing another allied unit. With Shade gone, Blade is the only unit left inside the control radius. The Protogen Marines take control of the point and score 2 VP. Round 2 ends. There are still 2 rounds left to play. So far, we've only seen the central room, with 3 units on each side. In a full game, each player controls a squad of 8 units across the entire battlefield.